is Drew Jones. I'm with Where's the Buzz, and I'm here with Nadine Ellis, who plays Leah Franklin on I'm so sorry.
Okay.
How are you doing today? Let me start that over. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Start it again, girl. Take it
Like a
again.
frog in my throat or something. Hi, my name is Drew Jones. I'm with Where's the Buzz. I'm here with Nadine Ellis, who plays Leah Franklin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I am so good. I am not gonna lie. I have been so excited about this show for since I heard about it, and then finally getting to watch the first two episodes. Like, I'm hooked. What drew you into this show?
Leah Franklin DuPont, she kind of just grabbed me by the neck and said, come on. And I was like, oh, okay, here I am. It was really just reading that pilot and just seeing the dynamics of someone who has been given so much. With great power comes great responsibility. However, there's all the other stuff underneath, right? It's all the stuff that's simmering underneath where she's trying to attain perfection because everyone's expecting her to be, because why wouldn't you be when you've been given everything? But at the same time, we're human beings. So she's constantly, in her own way, fracturing her own self-esteem, her own self, in not necessarily feeling like she's enough for her husband, for her father, for her children, for herself, and the struggle is real. So I loved all of that complexity around her.
I was gonna say I really enjoy her because obviously the protagonist is, Angela, but Leah isn't necessarily like an antagonist. She's kind of just like in this gray area where you aren't sure if you want to root for her or root against her. What is it like playing that dynamic between, like an Angela or a Teddy? Because they're such like opposite ends of the spectrum. You're kind of in the middle. So how do you go into that, playing that role where you're kind of going back and forth?
Well, I have to say, I somewhat disagree with the opposite ends. Yes, in terms of what they present to the world, it seems very opposite. But I think all three characters have a lot of similarities. As we all do. We all have the ability to walk into, I don't know, the grocery store, and you're having a bad day and you rip into somebody, and then that's on Monday. And then Tuesday you have a great day and you walk in and you see the same person and it's amazing. And they see different sides of you, and I think what you present a lot of times really comes with what the circumstances are. And so I think though Teddy is like this bold man, he is someone who's also a child of a wealthy man who built something from, his great grandfather built something from the ground up, and his grandfather, and then his father, and then himself. And so, he has his own set of rules and accomplishments that he wants for himself. Angela is this single mom who grew up, with the single mom and feeling like she has a lot to prove, and, wanting to do better for her child and having certain expectations for herself. Leah, of course, had the money and mom and dad, but definitely felt like she was not seen. And I think that's really what it comes down to, right? It's like we're all fighting for the opportunity to be seen, whether that's through success, whether that's through finding out who your family is, whether it's trying to show the world that, yes, no, I really am good enough. I really do have enough to offer everyone. We all just want to be seen. I think those three characters all want to be seen.
What I think is so interesting about this show is I had no idea about Marthas Vineyard or any of the history there. And I know that this is based off of a book a little bit. So what was like the most interesting thing that you learned kind of going into this project about that whole community?
Yeah, just how long they've been around, from the late 1800s. I think we think of the late 1800s as the birth or the rebirth of the Black community, the African community here in this country, where, after 400 years, like all of a sudden people were free and had an opportunity to kind of branch out and do what they did. But to find out that there were these families, like numerous families along the East Coast, who immediately figured it out and through resources, however, bloodline money and land that was then given to them, and they were able to build and grow and become their own little dynasties. That was really surprising to me because I didn't really know any of that information. I knew about Madam C.J. Walker, and that was probably it. I didn't really get a sense that I thought it was like her and maybe a few politicians. I didn't realize there was like this swath of families that were doing it, and I think that's what's so the magnetism of the show is what pulls people in is like, oh, there's a little corner of the world we haven't seen yet, or we haven't seen in a really broad way. And I think people definitely want to kind of lean in and go, yeah, tell me about this situation, because I think as, I'm the child of immigrants. And so I know that world and grew up with family that definitely struggled and fought to give something to the next generation. So this story, I think, is universal. However, it is, for myself, I'm for sure leaning in like, oh, what, this, who, what? So I think it's an exciting ride, no matter where you come from or who you are,
There's a really interesting little conversation that your character and Angela have about sort of what Black excellence is. And I feel like I constantly see this conversation on social media about, is Black excellence luxury or is Black excellence legacy? Like, what exactly is it? So in your opinion, what would you say like true Black excellence is?
I think it's all of it. That's what it is. I mean, I think, we have this term Black excellence that has stepped into our zeitgeist, but we've always, it kind of went from, we've heard Black excellence, we've heard Black girl magic, but we know there's a resilience within our community that is undeniable for so many who were given so little to continually grow and evolve and dominate the way a lot of in the Black community have. And though we are only 13% of the population here in the United States, I don't know the number, it feels to me, and I'm a little biased, but it feels to me like we're 94% of the overall sense of who the country has become. Like our influence is so incredibly strong, even though our numbers are low. And I think, so the excellence part of it is really get in where you fit in. And I think it's what we've always done. It's like, okay, this is all right. Well, today, this is what's happening. And I'm going to move forward and try to make it better from the ancestors on down. You know what I mean? And we're always just trying to grow and make it better, stronger. And so excel the way you need to, Black people, and stay excellent is what I say.
I love it. I love it. I'm always interested with cast too. Especially when there's like a family dynamic going on, because obviously you guys are actors. It's your job to sell it to us that you're a family. But I really feel like when I watch all of you, it feels very, very authentic. So how did you guys kind of bond? Did you guys do any type of bonding before filming? Like, how did you create those dynamics?
Yeah, luckily, we have the patriarchy, I guess, in our family. We have Teddy, of course, but Morris Chestnut immediately rallied the Franklin DuPont family, the four of us, and we sat down and had dinner and just kind of got to know each other a little bit and spent some time together. And that was really helpful because a lot of times you get on these sets and it's cold. Like you literally hit the ground, right? It's like, hi, how are you? I'm going to put my tongue in your mouth now. Is that cool? Cool. Great. All right, here we go. You know what I mean? Like it really is, it can be very daunting, and so to have the time just to get to know each other, from the dynamics of the kids to the spouses all the way through has been really nice. And then Joe Morton is just a national treasure. Man, I can't. I can't say enough. Like, I am blown away every day when I get on set and I'm like, that's Joe Morton. He's playing my father. That's what's happening, and there's just, it's a university he is a university all on his own. Like what he does, how he attacks, and it's beautiful to watch. And I love being able to be the daughter who grew up at his knee. So everything he's doing, I'm like, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Yeah, it's been great.
Totally understandable. Well, thank you so much. Again, congrats on the show. It is absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait for the rest of the season.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Where is the buzz? You said was mine.
Where is the buzz?